terrors of tripping on pop.
Be there! Scour the spaceways! Explore vast alien worlds!
This tin right here contains the whole rigmarole.
I used to smoke about an ounce of hash every day.
Good.
And it made me go a little bonkers.
Maybe if I occupy his mind with more duties, I can control his space.
Hi.
Big fat
Hi.
doobies.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. Welcome to the Hot Box Day, Saturday, August 29th, 2020, episode 210. I'm Matt. That's Grand. What's up, Grand?
What's up, buddy? How you doing? It's been a minute.
Good. It's been a few minutes, several weeks. Had a little vacation, went to Montana, visited some family and stuff, came back, had to do some work stuff last Saturday, and here we are today.
That's like 3 years in internet time, isn't it?
It feels like it. People are like, you guys do a podcast? Like, who are all these new
who
people
are
in the
you?
Discord?
No shit. buddy.
Hotboxpodcast.com, hotbox.earth, that's the website. Both take you to the same spot. Check it out. There's a YouTube page there you can subscribe to where these videos go up after the fact, and you can go back and rewatch them. Definitely fun when we're doing like demos of stuff. That Indux one is a really cool one to watch because there's like, you can actually see what's going on.
Dude, that one was really cool.
Most of the time, it's just me and him just talking about weed stuff.
There was one with Murphy Murray, too, that was extremely informative. However, we didn't have her on video, which, damn us.
Yeah,
Damn us for that.
That's when you just want to listen to the audio, unless you just want to stare at us, like, talking about it. But it's hard to get guests to, like, first of all, like, get Discord working to where they can stream, and then to go one further and be like, could you record your video somehow? Like, yeah.
You're going to have to download this other program and then put your camera through that and then record and then stream on at the exact same time.
Just hold your phone up to... We'll get it from there. We do have a giveaway pending, so if we want to, we can go ahead and get that started, and then we'll get
do we have all of the entries in, Vin?
We do have all the entries in, 270.
270 entries. Very cool.
All right.
Thank you all for participating. And while he's doing that, do you want to tell him what this is for again? Because this one's a little different.
This one is a little bit different. Normally... as in the past, Matt has actually done a lot of our giveaways, but this time we have had enough with the Discord again to sponsor our own giveaway. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to give you guys the chance to win $125 credits to either sweetpieceofglass.com or garysglassadventure.com to pick out anything you want for $125. Or if you have everything you need dab-wise and you don't want anything or don't want to put the money towards anything to one of our sponsors, you can get a $75 gift card to anywhere of your choice.
That has gift cards.
That has gift cards, yes. That we can easily do that.
But mostly to Pornhub. Thank you, Eastern Dank.
I wasn't going to say that, but I don't know about buying a Visa MasterCard gift card.
We're basically we're just gonna give you Grand's credit card numbers, and then you're gonna go up to $100 on there, and then Grand's pretty much just gonna have to get a new credit card.
Yeah, at that point I'm just gonna change my identity and stuff. But
Eastern Day says I'm gonna need you to go buy 2 Target gift cards. I need 4 gift cards. I want the $75 split up evenly between the 4, with then the remainder put into a PayPal account for my child's college.
You all ready for the winner?
Who's the winner?
Uh-oh.
Do we have a winner?
Who it is?
Eastern Dank.
Oh! What? Eastern Dank has won.
Oh, dude, that's funny. Now you have to go... And he already said he wanted Target gift cards, so yeah, we'll get
Target gift cards in $20 increments. I'll scratch off the back number and send them to you. Do I have to give you connection to my computer too?
Can
I
you
feel
just
like that's just
Western Union me the money. He says.
Give him your car. Too.
Nah, he's getting Pornhub.
He's getting porn up.
Well,
just
that's cool, man.
After,
Congratulations, Eastern Dank, and thank you definitely to everyone else that participated, and we'll have another giveaway probably in a couple weeks.
Just DM us after the show, and we'll figure out what you want, my man.
Oh, yeah, he wanted the adapter, and I mean, I don't want to be the one to say it, but I just checked the website, and you're in luck. The adapters are only $120. So, like,
You can throw that extra 5 in for like a tip.
for like a tip, or
It
you know,
works out
whatever.
For everyone.
Whatever.
Shipping.
Get a month of Pornhub Premium. You know, I don't know.
Oh God!
Congratulations,
Shameless
man.
plug.
That's cool.
Shameless plug. Yeah, congratulations that this again was sponsored by all of you guys. Everybody who has donated in the past, all of our money that we get goes back to you guys. We have bought a lifetime subscription to Me6 with $100. We have given away $50, which Church of Dabs won and bought something from Gary's Class Adventure, and now we will be giving away the next $125 or $75, depending on what he wants, to Eastern Dank. And when we get enough money to do something again, we have gotten the idea of maybe doing a peak if we can get enough. I don't know, but we're gonna have to see.
Peaks are pricey, and I don't know if people would like actually want to win that just because. I don't know. There's like real severe love-hate relationship with Puffco and Peaks in the overall, not just our community, but like the overall weed community. Like, some people really like it. Like mine, I dig mine. I don't use it every day. It has a specific, use case. It's not my daily by any means. I would definitely hate it a little more, I think, if I only had that to use every day. But for travel and stuff, they're fine. That's a lot of money to spend on something that you're only going to use when you travel, unless you travel all the time.
Well, what do you guys think? What would you guys like to see us give away next? Let us know. Maybe we'll get some ideas and kind of figure out something,
Your firstborn.
Your firstborn child?
Your firstborn. Well, you're in luck.
Our dad's merch. You know what? That's actually a great place to start real quick before we get into this.
Yeah, go for it. Are we getting some merch?
We are going to get some stickers for sure, and you know what? A lot has been had about having t-shirts / hoodies, which if you guys look in the Hot Box podcast, we have gotten a concept drawing from our artist, BKG Art. There it is. That's definitely going to be the sticker, we think. And then for the shirt or hoodie, what we're thinking is having a dab press and having the parchment paper laid out like this, and then the rosin coming down spelling out our dabs. So then that would be like on the shirt like that or on the back, and then we would put our Discord link and Reddit link on the back as well. And I think that would be cool as hell.
I just got a new hoodie. Have you guys heard of Positive Creations? I thought it was cool because on the back of it, it's got this weird like nug looking.
That's kind of cool.
Right? It's like a weed nug robot thing with sunglasses on it. I don't know. I just saw it and I was like, holy shit, that's cool.
That is kind of cool.
Positive Creations.
Now, see, would you guys think a design kind of like that, where we put like our dabs or something on the front right here, and it's a zip up, and then put the main design on the back, or do you think one of those ones that's just on the front that's no zip up?
For me, my old man, I need a zip up. I can't be pulling hoodies. I can't be pulling hoodies up over my head whenever I get hot or cold. Like I like the zip up personally. It'd be dope if we could partner with like Alex Gray or like some trippy artist to like make a cool trippy thing like that for it.
That would be kind of cool.
Maybe
eventually. One day, yeah. You never know. All right, now you can go ahead. Now that we talked about merch, I do like that though.
Yeah. From the Reddit, this is a podcast from the RDAB subreddit, so we always like to highlight a few things out of the subreddit every week. I feel like this is partly kind of just going for a little like comment attention, karma whoring perhaps, because I don't know. Personally, me, like, I would know if my rig had water in it. You could get me stoned to where I passed out, and then as soon as I woke up, handed me a rig, and I would know if there was water in it or not. But
I don't know. I've definitely pulled out a rig at a friend's house and been too eager to hit it.
Really?
Before actually filling it up.
Really?
You notice when you hit it, like you go to hit it, and you're like, "Oh shit!" You're not gonna stop.
Are these table rigs or are these rigs you're holding? Because I could understand if it was sitting on the table and it was like, "Don't touch this rig," like just gently place your lips to it, like then maybe you didn't know there was water. But I feel like the second you hold the rig, you know there's water in it.
See, I beg to differ.
Okay.
I beg to differ. If it's heavy enough and it's a thick enough glass, like, you know, my Illuminati recycler that I have is probably 10 inches tall, somewhere in there, and it's nice thick glass, so you can't like really even tell like when there's water in there or not. Because
Okay.
it doesn't
Maybe
really
I'm
slosh around too much.
Maybe
I
I'm
don't
wrong.
know. It has happened to me before. I cannot say it has not happened to me before. I have hit a rig thinking there was water in it, and there was not.
And it was the best hit of your life. Go ahead. But yeah, Feed Me Gluten user Feed Me Gluten says asks, does anyone else ever forget to put water in the rig or just me? And it was a little dab video there, but then the first comment, at least on my page here, this other person, Years of Terror, is like, a few months ago I did a fatty dab, then I was like, oh, I'll clean the rig tomorrow. So I filled it with ISO and salt overnight. Woke up the next day, time to blast off with a wake and bake fatty, cue mouthful of salty ISO, followed by a hellacious burn in my throat. I'm just happy I didn't catch it on fire. Haven't drank liquor since.
Oh my god.
See
That
that?
is
I could
terrible.
see somebody doing that first because there is still liquid in it, but the
And you're
second
just-
like that gets anywhere near your nose, like you smell ISO. I don't know, man. You got to be kind of, maybe not everyone's as like awake in the morning as I tend to be or something. I don't know. I feel like I'd smell that though, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I should
don't know.
clean this first."
ISO loses a lot of smell if it's been sitting out for a minute, though. I mean, it still has it, but
does it though?
I don't feel like it's like gas going up to your nose. It's like, oh god.
Well, and that depends, I guess, on the percentage. I always use 99.
That's
So
true.
to me, like when I smell it, it's strong because it's like 99.
Right.
But if you're using like 50 or 60 or whatever the lower purities are, then yeah, maybe. Because
You know, if
eventually
you
it's
want-
just water after a while.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it just evaporates off. But if you want to see, I think it was me who took a waterless dab. Go back to our first episode, was it?
I think we
When
all were
together?
doing it, but I think maybe you had a video of it or something.
I think I did it for our VIPs or something. But that was on our first episode, wasn't it? Episode
I think so.
What episode was that? 203?
Yeah, something like that.
Something
I
like
don't-
that.
I don't remember.
You can go back and see our reactions and our thoughts.
Yeah,
See what
I don't
we
know.
thought of it.
I've been dabbing out of the peak. I think that was my argument back then, was that like I always just take dry rips out of the peak anyway. But
Right.
it depends on your glass, and it depends on your terps, and it just depends what you're into. But I still stand by my. I feel like you would know if you picked up the rig if there was water in it or not. But
I agree, but it's happened to me before.
I'm sure it has.
I'm sure to shut the hell up.
Let me see your phone screen right now. Hold it up.
Mine?
Do you have any cracks in your phone screen?
No, I don't actually.
Okay,
I don't know where my phone is.
That's
but
fine.
I don't.
that's fine.
Why?
Because I was gonna say it would make sense if you had a crack in your phone screen. Because then
Don't
I
look
would
at the
know
back of it.
you're that kind of person.
Don't look at the back of it, but
I get what he's saying, but I don't have a crack either.
Okay. Well, fuck me, I guess.
fuck.
User BM96 posted a question and discussion about how long you hold your hits in for. I feel like we've touched on this before, but I saw it in the subreddit, so I thought we could kind of discuss it again. They say there's a fact, or in my opinion, a myth, that is said that 90% of THC is absorbed by the lungs in 1 to 2 seconds. Has anyone thought logically about this? My problem with this is that a lot of the time we take hits that do not allow all the vapor we inhaled to properly be set into the surface area tissue of our lungs. Instead, a lot of it is just blown out from the mouth or throat before being absorbed. If you think how it would enter the lungs and make contact to be absorbed. If you take a smaller hit and follow it by a slow, deep breath of fresh air, it will effectively push that vapor smoke into your lungs, covering more surface area and making better of your money and medicine. As we know, THC isn't the only chemical in cannabis. If that was the only thing measured, that most of it is absorbed in 1 to 2 seconds. What about all the other chemical components that might take longer to absorb? I never hold my dabs in. I used to, when I was younger, hold my flower hits in, and I felt like I was getting more stoned. But I think maybe that has to do with the concentration and surface area of the lungs versus like a dab where it's all concentration, like it's a higher concentration.
Right. I could see with flower because it's not as concentrated of smoke. But the dabs that we are smoking are by definition a concentrate.
Right. I feel like it's more important to have a deep hit rather than a long hit, if that makes sense.
I agree.
Like
I
get
agree
it
as well.
in there
Fill
and then
up your lungs all the way.
say that
Right.
again.
Just fill up your lungs all the way until you feel like your bottom ribs expanding. That's what they taught us in marching band.
Yeah,
that's what
stand up and
dabs.
sing from your diaphragm.
And see that would make more sense to me. And then I think they're also misinterpreting the fact that they're just taking a hit and then sucking it in, whereas we just take hits until we can't suck anymore.
Yeah, depending on how you
then-
dab, right? Yeah.
Right. So that might be a little bit of a different thing too. I wonder if some of the, do we call it pseudoscience or bro science?
Bro science?
It's bro science.
Is it bro science? I wonder if the bro science came from the fact that maybe because oil sticks when it gets colder, so the fact that you put it in your lungs, you want to get it out as quick as possible so it doesn't stick in there and then you have a bunch of shit
Is
to cough
oil,
up.
how much oil's recondensing at 98.8 degrees or whatever temperature your guts are? I feel like
I
it's
think-
not a whole lot.
But
Maybe.
I feel like it will turn from a gas to a liquid or solid though. At that temperature, it's not gaseous forms.
Yeah, it is. It's all vapor.
No. You can have dabs at 98 degrees. It's going to be liquid.
Yeah, but how much of that's actually going to recondense before
No,
you exhale?
Well, that's what I mean. If you hold it, more of it will.
Now, what if you were dabbing in a cold room, in a freezer? Like a
That's a
negative
fair
25-degree freezer?
That's a fair argument too, because the colder temperature would help it solidify even further, and you would be breathing in the cold air, but at the same time, you'd be dabbing, and then it would be coming in.
But it's only absorbing in your lungs in vapor. Like, once it turns into that oil, I don't think it's absorbing anymore because it's almost a solid. It's like a liquid at that point. It's
Right,
not going to
that's
get into your
right.
bloodstream that way, I don't think.
Well, your body is still absorbing that oil though, over time.
Yeah, but not in vapor
Not
form.
instantaneously, like a dab.
Yeah. Yeah. So
No, I just wonder if maybe that's part of it, though, is they don't want that oil in there because it's not doing anything for them. So that's why they just, instead of hold.
yeah.
I don't know. I that was just a thought. I'm not saying that's any kind of scientific belief or anything like
And
that.
you
or
also
even as
see
parents.
a lot of dab videos these days where people aren't ripping it until they can't anymore. They're taking several smaller trying to get all of it in because you can't obviously
Right.
take it all in one hit. But
Do you think you should be taking a dab all in one hit?
I think if it's going to make you cough and give yourself a stroke or an aneurysm or a what's that thing called in your
Yes.
hernia? I don't think you
No.
should.
Nobody should be pushing the way they smoke to make them cough in an uncomfortable manner. The goal is to be able to smoke and not have any or discomfort like that. My perfect smoking experience would be to go outside, take a dab, and not cough and walk back in. That sounds enjoyable as hell to me. Get all of the reaction of a dab and not cough my ass off.
But
Does
if-
that not sound
if-
enjoyable to you?
If you don't cough, how do you get off?
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
Very carefully.
My belief is that if you're getting higher from inhaling longer, it's probably just the oxygen deprivation.
Yeah,
just-
you're hyperventilating yourself.
That's probably it.
And a lot of times people will ask, well, that doesn't really make sense because when I just hold my breath, I don't feel like that. And which, yes, is true, but at the same time, you're also holding in a hit of weed, which is already deprived of oxygen. So when you hold your breath for longer, you're getting even less oxygen than would it be if you just hold your breath, because 80% of it's weed smoke and then 20% of it's oxygen. So you're holding your breath and then using up that even more. So you're probably feeling a lot more oxygen deprivation than you actually think you are.
Personally, I only hold it in long if I'm smoking a nice harsh Marlboro Red. maybe like
Make
a
sure the
camel
cancer
a
just
camel
gets in
non-filter or something. Like those I like to hold in, but
Just make sure that cancer's in there.
I think I don't know. We dab, we smoke. Like we all know that it's not the healthiest thing to be putting in our lungs. I think like the second you experience what it's like to actually not be able to breathe well, I think it'll change your whole outlook on it, and I think you'll probably stop holding it in for longer amounts of time. I don't know. I can breathe fine. I just don't like that thought of like, what if you hold it in too long and then it like kills part of your lung or something dumb like that. Like that's the kind of shit I
as
worry about.
as somebody who has asthma and has asthma attacks, that is a giant fear. And a lot of the times you're smoking to get high, but you don't want that cough, because as soon as you start coughing, you could have an asthma attack.
And it
is a mild asthma attack when you're coughing.
Do you worry about like, or do you get anxious about like what happens if my asthma attack lasts forever?
Yes.
Fuck, that would be crazy. Like just a never ending.
Welcome to the 4-day.
You just have to get like a mask of oxygen at that point, or what?
Or die.
I guess I'll die then.
Well, I mean, at that, if your lungs cannot take in the oxygen, what the fuck you gonna do?
Oxygen mask mixed with nitrous.
Go out in a ball of flames.
All right. The last. Please.
Note,
is it time for a
It
break?
is smoke time.
Okay.
It is smoke time. I have some Bucky's breath here. What are you smoking on today?
Smoke break, Blue Dream. Haters can suck it. Smoke break.
Haters can suck it. Oh
Bubba
God.
Kush.
Bubba Kush. Ooh,
Nice.
That's a good strain. Why do people hate Blue Dream? I want to talk about that when we get
Because
back.
it's cool to hate Blue Dream.
Because it's cool.
This episode of The Hot Box is brought to you by Gary's Glass Adventure. Go to garysglassadventure.com and check out his shop for any of your dabbing needs. Gary's Glass has quality German quartz and bangers of all sorts. They come in all sizes, 10, 14, and 18 millimeter. Also available are quality ruby pearls and rigs from a variety of artists. Again, that's garysglassadventure.com. Use promo code R/dabs710 to get 10% off your order. This episode is also brought to you by Sweet Piece of Glass. Spog is an amazing website with lots of great pieces and a large assortment of accessories from artists like Chappelle Glass, Unlimited Glass, and Glassmith. Quartz by Jake Miser and J Red Glass. There's almost nothing you can't find from Spog. Matt always takes care of his customers, and if you're in the Discord, he'll often give you a deal. So join the Discord and check out his shop to pick out your very own functional piece of art. He can be found at sweetpieceofglass.com and in the Discord.
Blue Dream. Why do you hate it so much?
Let's talk about that. Is that a catchphrase? Can I not say that?
Let's talk about that.
That's from it's from a YouTube video and stuff. I can't say that apparently.
I mean, what else do you say
Where's-
when you're about to talk about something? Let's discuss this. Let's have a discussion.
Let's have a conversation.
Let's have a conversation about this. No, I
Let's
never.
discord.
I never really experienced strain hate, which is what I'm calling it now,
Strain
until
hate?
I moved to Oregon. Was
Are you
when
strainist?
I'm not, but I've experienced a lot of like Stracism,
Stracism.
and it's weird because it's like we used to just smoke weed. Like it was just, was there weed? Yes or no? I'm like, yeah, there's weed. All right, well, I would like to purchase some weed. But now, like, everyone's on their, like, almost like a connoisseur coffee, wine, snobbery kind of thing with it. So, like, you all of a sudden have this Stracism that's, like, really, it runs rampant, at least here in Oregon. And definitely holler in the chat if you have experienced Stracism before in your day-to-day smoking. And what strain was the Stracism targeted at? Because I like all strains. I don't want to go so far as to say all strains matter, because all strains probably don't matter. Like, there are definitely some strains that I could, like, take it or leave it. But, like, Blue Dream to me is the strain that I really like. And people hate on it so bad. Such, like, crazy
Blue Lives
Stracism. No, don't
Blue
say
Dream
that.
Lives Matter.
Blue Dream matters to me personally.
Blue Dream matters.
God damn it.
They hate us. Why are we
But
doing
yeah,
this?
I was just it was interesting to me that like you can get to a point in something that's still pretty much federally illegal, and like some states just have like this crazy uptightness, I guess, snobbery, this
Right.
snobbery going on. But yeah, Blue Dream when I moved to Oregon was one that everybody was hating on, and then it turned into Jaeger, I believe, and then Runts became popular, but then everyone was like selling fake Runts, so then everyone was like, fuck Runts. Like I tried to Runts my life up a couple times, and it was all right. But yeah, I think does that happen in like the shoe industry? Like, is there like a brand issue? Like people are like, fuck Reebok. Nike all the way.
Hold on. I don't know if we can say that. Without
Fuck
having
New
to pay them
Balance.
anything.
Boofs Slayer Skip says. Fuck your dad members only jacket and fuck your New Balance, buddy. But yeah,
Burn
I don't know.
stuff,
People hate on Blue Dream. Sometimes I'm embarrassed to say that that's what I'm smoking because I do like it. I didn't pick it out. It was like my homie had some Gorilla Glue 4 and some Blue Dream, and he got me some of each. So I was like, dope.
I feel like Gorilla Glue is really overdone.
There's a lot of that. Same with like cookies, right? People crossed everything
Girl Scout
and
cookie,
its mother with cookies, and like now you have all of these crazy cookie strains.
Yep, there's so many cookie strains, but Blue Dream is one of my favorites. I have never heard of anybody actually hating on that, and I'm
Come to
sad by
Oregon.
that fact.
Come to
And-
Oregon if you want to experience Stracism.
Come at me, bro. Come at me,
don't
bro.
like Bubba Kush around here.
Bubba Kush is amazing.
Well, it's because Bubba Kush is 9 out of 10 times like the only shit we got here.
Oh, really?
I was like that with Senex in Montana because a lot of people there grew Senex, and like it's a good strain. I just like I can't smoke it all the time. I just get so sick of that weird mustiness of it. Like every Senex I've ever smelled has that weird like gassy, musty kind of smell. I'm not a big fan of it. Like it's good weed, it gets you stoned, but like as far as something I would actively pick out and want to smoke like more than just once or twice a day, I can't do it.
I feel like everybody needs a change up though. Like you can't just
Yeah,
be smoking
yeah.
the same shit all the time. It's at least got to be at least two different kinds, something to change it up a tiny bit. Because after a while, you'll just get so used to it that it's like, fuck, this ain't nothing.
So sandals, socks or barefoot? There's a little discussion. When you wear sandals, do you wear socks?
Sandals.
Yes,
Jesus
what kind?
See, I say
Jesus.
fuck sandals too because I can't. I need a nice sneaker,
I
personally.
hate you, Ben. Jesus.
And I definitely, if I have to be around people wearing sandals, I would prefer it if they had socks on. Because I don't know, I don't want to like be around people's like gross feet issues hanging out there like that, you know. But
Gross
I mean,
feet issues.
do you know? Do you? If that's you, then do it. Just don't do it near me, please.
Just don't do it near me.
The last thing on the subreddit to get to, I've been seeing a lot of videos from Mickey94 Burnout, calls himself Dab of the Hut. And I always like watching him because the cat is always like super happy, super stoked. Like I just really enjoy his videos. So I wanted to mention that. And then they were asking a question here about when you have errands to run. Like, do you get stoned before, during, or after?
Both.
All of it.
All of it? Okay. See, for me, it's like it depends what I have to do and who I have to interact with to do that. Because not everybody is like gonna be, I guess, as nice. Like there's certain places if you go into and you reek like weed, like they're just not gonna be very nice to you, you know?
Well, you
like
don't reek
if
when
you
you
have to go to
go
court,
bad.
for example. No, I know. And dabs don't smell as much, but
I
As-
think that's just normal like status quo though. You can't be going out smelling like shit.
yeah, well,
I mean?
weed smells good though.
Karen doesn't agree.
Well, yeah. Not everybody's
Karen
going
doesn't
to.
agree.
Do you find that taking dabs before you go out into public gives you anxiety or relieves your anxiety?
Depends
On where you're
I don't know,
going?
the day.
Oh, okay. Your
it's
mood,
really different.
your internal mood.
I would guess yes. Actually, probably that would have to have something to do with it. But sometimes it's completely knocks everything out, and you just don't give a shit. Other times it's like I'm freaking the fuck out right now because I'm high as balls. That man knows. That squirrel knows, man. The squirrel knows.
And I think, like, it depends regionally, too, because, like, if you're somewhere where it's legal, then who cares if everybody knows, right? That anxiety comes from, oh, this person knows, and now this person's going to call the cops on me, and now I'm going to have to deal with, like, all of this shit because it may not be legal where I'm at, which can give you a bunch of fucking anxiety, I would imagine.
The feds always care, man. The feds.
Yeah,
You
I
always gotta
used
watch
to
out.
I used to be more like I would just smoke a whole bunch before I go out. Now it's like I just kind of wait till I get home, but if it really just depends where I'm going.
Yeah, I agree. I've said this before. I've gotten myself to the point where I can actually medicate and not be like fucked up.
Yeah.
So I can actually like be okay and function throughout the day and not be high as balls. And then there's the times when you want to sit down and medicate a little bit and get a little high or something like that. I would never tell anybody to drive while they're high. But I mean, if you are under the circumstance where you need to have the medication in you, you know if you are able to drive then or not, and then you can make that decision.
Yes.
But like I said though, I mean it's different. Between taking a medication and getting fucked up.
Getting lit or getting better. Booth
Getting
Slayer
lit
Scup
or
says I
getting
stay
better?
sober for 6 hours of my shift, then fuck it. See me, I don't smoke before I go to work because I know I'm gonna take a bunch of bong hits once I get to work. So it's like I don't need to.
Yeah, but your work's a little bit different for
Well,
people
yeah,
who
yeah.
can't just smoke at work.
Sure.
It's
I couldn't imagine that after being like I could before, but like once you've been doing something for so long, like I could not at this point in my life imagine having to like go work somewhere where I couldn't just like roll out and
walk out and smoke a doobie.
smoke weed. Yeah, like it just I don't know. It I can't really fathom that happening. I hope it doesn't happen. Fingers crossed.
I think that's the goal for everybody.
Interesting in the news, this happened last week, I think, or maybe the week before. It's kind of been happening, and this is like it's led up to this point as far as what the DEA wants to do with Delta 8. And I know
Oh yeah, the whole
Vinter,
thing going on with that.
Vinter, how, and can you turn your volume up just a hair, Vinter? And then tell us, like, you're in a lot of these, like, hemp groups and stuff. Is this just, like, the sky is falling kind of shit, or are people like, oh, yeah, this, we knew this was going to happen?
So with Delta 8, people pretty much knew that the DEA was going to say something eventually. A lot of people didn't realize it would be this soon. But the wording is pretty vague, and it really ends up being what the judge's definition of synthetic means. Because Delta 8, while it's naturally found in the plant, it's not a synthetic cannabinoid like K2. It's synthetically made from CBD isolate.
Yeah, but that's not a synthesis. That's like an isomerization or a reaction. Like synthesis to me is like I have all this yeast and like I made it grow this shit from giving it enzymes and stuff. Like that to me is
Right.
more of a synthesis.
It ends up coming down to a judge's decision on that. But with the hemp extract stuff, the DEA rules would make it illegal to go above 0.3% THC for processing. So you can't even run hemp into crude to make isolate and distillate. Like
They're
That's how
basically
it was
saying,
before, wasn't it?
because a lot of labs are like, well, you have hot hemp, like we can fix that for you and get it under the limit. But if they're saying like you can't even process it anymore, that's pretty effed.
yeah, that's basically it.
And when they vote on this soon, I know Future 4200 forums had a form. We threw a link to it there that you can like fill out and send to your Congress critter or whatever, and let them know that like, yo, I'm not down with this whatsoever, and my vote counts, and then they'll laugh at you.
Does your vote? Yeah, because your vote doesn't matter.
It does, but it doesn't.
It does, but you just think it does.
But it really doesn't.
Really
It could,
doesn't.
but not in this particular instance.
Or any other instance that you're ever going to want.
With the government.
I hate our country sometimes.
It's a good country. I just hate all these old people that like just got so greedy, and then that greed corrupted them further, and now it's just like run by fucking pedophiles who have nobody but their own best interests in mind, and we should just hang them all.
I definitely don't think I would live anywhere else.
Yeah. I've been to other countries. I mean, this is a pretty sweet place. We just got to fix some shit.
Canada's not too bad.
So it's all going to come down to whatever
this
court rules, however the judge interprets it, and then everyone can decide if they're going to still have jobs or not.
Yeah, there's a 60-day comment period for the DEA stuff. A lot of the D8 and hemp industry is pretty mad, and a lot of them are suing the DEA.
Good.
Really?
And then the DEA will be like, well, federally, it's still a Schedule 1. And the judge will say, well, case dismissed. But it's a good effort. E for effort.
Oof.
Definitely.
I mean, is that not like what's going to happen?
Well, it's in the DEA stuff is in conflict with the 2018 Farm Bill.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's
just going to depend on what the judge says.
It's going to depend on how much CBD.
What does the 2018 Farm Bill actually say?
That all isomers of from hemp are that aren't Delta 9 THC are legal.
So if you have hemp derived D8, like
that would
Farm Bill
says
says
under
you're
the Farm
fine.
Bill.
Yeah,
but it's also still Schedule 1 on the DEA list.
Right. Which kind of goes back to what we've been saying, like, since before fucking time started, where you have to, like, reschedule, deschedule before you do anything else. Yeah, obviously, that's not how shit works in the real world, but, like, logically, that's always their fallback argument, regardless of what happens. You escalate it up to a high enough court, it gets to a federal case, and they're like, nope, Schedule 1, sorry, our hands are tied. Like, you have to deschedule it first.
Yep.
But yeah, if you guys want to holler about it, click that link Vinter just posted up. And there's a bunch of good information there. And they made a template to send to the DEA for the comment. So flood their inboxes. I saw a lot of people from like the Kratom subreddits being like, hey, we're going to get involved with this because the DEA tried to do that to us like last year or the year before or whenever it was. So they're like, we totally know how this feels, and we all came together and flooded their boxes, and they said, all right, forget it. So now they're doing the same thing with this. Hopefully everyone can make a big enough noise, flood some inboxes, and then hopefully they just drop it. Deschedule it and drop it.
That would be cool to deschedule it.
Ideally.
It could be a big push to deschedule everything, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really could. Oh, shit.
I thought this was kind of interesting. I found this article on CNN about a stressed out zoo elephant that they're giving CBD oil to chill it out, I guess. As soon as all of these ads load. Thanks, CNN. Jesus.
Yeah, I seen that elephant getting CBD.
It's from the war.
Like 50 gallons in there.
From the Warsaw Zoo, just like showering it with crude, like scrubbing it. It's at the Warsaw Zoo. They announced on their website that it would conduct the experiment, which hopes will improve the mood of the animals with CBD oil producer Dobrechnopai. You want a pie?
Dobrechnopai?
Pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. I'm kidding. They say,
3 times fast.
They say, quote, we've started a project during which you need to give some CBD to those dogs. I'll tell you what, calm them boys right down.
Doesn't work.
We have started a project during which we will check the effect of CBD hemp oils on the mood of our animals. Statement read, To begin with, the program included Fred Zia the elephant, who after the recent death of Erna, the former head of the elephant herd, was a bit stressed and had a bit trouble finding her position in the herd. So, I mean, I can relate to that. I'm sure a lot of you guys can. Like, sometimes I just don't know where I fit in this herd. And you know what? Sometimes a little CBD, it's all I need to, like, really get into my own here.
Get fucked?
To really just get fucked. Here's some CBD. The oil, which does not have psychoactive properties, will be administered to 2 elephants, Fred Zia, who is already being given it, and a fellow female herd member, Booba. Warsaw zookeeper explained in a video they posted on Facebook that elephants can struggle with the loss of a herd member for weeks, sometimes years. This has been the case with Fred Zia, who has had difficulty readjusting following the death of the head of the herd. That's pretty crazy.
She's depressed.
Yeah.
They never forget, man. It's
No.
like 9/11. Never forget.
Poor elephants. Just like remembering every like dickhead thing any human's ever done to you, but like still being cool. We should all try to be more like elephants, you know? Less
Be
grudges.
depressed for years on end.
Just, yeah, right?
It's just depressed when something bad happens all the time. That's a terrible way to live.
And then get CBD
Where's
and
that
feels
disclaimer
better.
at?
It does make sense though, because like
Bad idea.
all animals have endocannabinoid systems as far as I understand. So, I mean, it would make sense. It'd be something to try at least.
What are you, fucking biologist?
No. Are you a weedologist?
I pretend to be.
I try to be. I smoke
I
enough
try to
weed
be.
to be.
Smoke weed every day. Hey, hey, hey.
They say we'd like to see how CBD oil hemp flower extract affects elephants. Like most zoos, we do research and we monitor the level of stress hormones. Thanks to this, we'll know if the substance will help. Do you think
Do you think monitoring the stress hormone is stressful to them?
Maybe. Are you defeating the purpose by like monitoring this elephant, stressing it out?
Like I'm sure you're sticking a needle in it and drawing blood.
Yeah, I don't know how much an elephant really gives a shit about that.
I'm just saying, you stick a needle in me, I give a shit.
Well, yeah, but you're not like a big badass elephant.
Maybe I am. How do you know?
They're thick. I mean, you can identify with whatever you want. I'm looking at you and I'm telling you, you're not a big ass, badass elephant.
I'm a big ass elephant, goddammit.
I identify as Dumbo, damn it. Respect me. Respect my choice.
Respect my authority.
Florida getting some edible rules in place. I guess you couldn't have edibles in Florida? Was that a thing?
Really? Why?
Because it wasn't legal, apparently. That's crazy.
Yeah, but
because the kids.
Think of the kids.
Booth Slayers. No, why? The kids. Fuck. All right. Well.
Yeah, but doesn't eating marijuana actually provide a psychoactive effect?
Doesn't that just
smoking
basically state that all Floridian parents are bad parents?
Correct.
Because
I mean, that's true, isn't it?
kid's not just gonna eat it unless like you leave it out or like you're not properly watching your kid. I don't know.
Edibles are taxed, man. You gotta watch that.
Especially
Can't
for
let
how
that go to
expensive
waste.
they are. Like if
That's what I'm saying.
if my kid fucking got my edibles, I'd be pissed.
It's like 100% markup on like every edible.
You know I'm charging them at
yeah.
least 150% if I'm selling that to my kid.
That guy's buying that thing of RSO. It's probably like a quarter of a gram for like $100.
Sounds Florida to me.
It says
Sounds Floridian to me.
The Florida Department of Health, which oversees the Office of Medical Marijuana Use, quietly published emergency rules for edible medical marijuana late Wednesday night. They predict variances will be issued to licensed medical marijuana treatment centers this week, and products will hit shelves soon after. So, like, in the next 5 years, you can
Yeah, like
look for those on the store shelves. That's good, though. I mean,
right?
it's a step forward, you know.
Yeah, but why does everything take like 10 years?
I mean, why don't people there just like buy weed and then make butter with it? I mean, I know it's a pain in the ass. It's an extra step, but like you can make your own edibles. You know that.
I think that's exactly why, though, is because it's an extra step.
Is why people
I just-
don't?
I
I mean, I'm
just
sure
wanna
people do
consume.
there.
I just want to consume. That's it.
But then you like get in trouble if they catch you with it, probably, huh?
Yeah, you probably actually.
That's crazy.
That would be pretty messed up, though. Yeah, it's like in New York, you're not allowed to smoke weed, but you're allowed to have it.
Now, I'm curious, is that something that they just put in the law that nobody noticed? Like when they voted on it, they're like, oh yeah, you can have weed, but you can't smoke it and you can't have edibles. So, and they're like, oh yeah, sounds good.
In New York, you have to vaporize it.
Yep, you have to vape it.
That's so weird.
So you can technically dab, but you cannot smoke a joint.
And that's better than no law at all, or whatever the alternatives were on the ballot, if any, I guess.
All of it just illegal? I would assume so, yeah.
What a pain.
Because then you can buy the flower, but you cannot smoke it. Which is fucking beyond me.
Do people really do that?
No.
Like, people are smoking that shit.
Joints. Oh yeah, they buy on that shit and smoking it.
Definitely smoking it. Well, I mean, it's a step in the right direction, I guess, but
it is, and every step that we can.
It just seems funny that like y'all would pass a fucking weed law and then not allow yourselves edibles. Like that just seems weird, but I get it. Yeah. Sometimes they slip that kind of shit in, or sometimes it's like, well, it's either that or nothing. Which sure.
But I feel like there was a lot of controversy with the edibles too. At first, with the FDA, wasn't there?
I mean, they definitely don't like it when you make them into like candy shapes, like Sour Patch Kids and shit like that. They definitely don't like colorful packaging.
God.
I thought this was kind of interesting. USC researchers think, and this is like a huge maybe, that the THC in weed might be able to help treat some complications from the COVID. Top University of South Carolina researchers think that the chemical in marijuana that induces a high may be effective in treating a potentially lethal coronavirus complication. Studies published in Frontiers of Pharmacology and a bunch of other stuff were conducted by giving mice a toxin that triggered the harmful immune reaction that causes ARDS, and then injecting mice with THC. And they said, quote, the underlying mechanism is your immune system goes haywire and starts destroying your lungs and all your other organs. It's like a car where you're putting on a lot of accelerator, but the brakes aren't working. Basically, what's going to happen is your car is going to crash because you can't stop it, and that's basically what's happening with ARDS.
Huh.
Over dozens of experiments and 3 separate studies, 100% of the mice given THC survived.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
So moral of the story is, hey, smoke weed every day.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's why none of us are getting the COVID. I mean, I don't know.
Because we're all smoking.
I know y'all aren't still quarantining.
There was also a study saying CBD could do the same thing. The study was using inhaled cannabis concentrates.
Interesting. And ARDS is acute respiratory distress syndrome, if you were wondering, like I was.
Which THC and CBD can help with.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Good for you, weed, except weed has no medical potential because it's a scheduled 1.
Yep.
Except that it's preventing all of us from getting the COVID.
Pretty much. God damn, that hurt. Remind me not to do that again.
He's bruised himself.
I have bruised myself.
And to wrap things up, in searches and seizures out of Mayfield, New York, 2 brothers in different vehicles were driving down a country road in Fulton County, and state police pulled them over, and police questioned the 2 men by the side of Route 30 in Mayfield. Officers could smell weed coming from the car. Police searched the vehicles and noticed a number of packed hockey bags. When officers opened the bags, they found they were filled with not hockey equipment, marijuana. In all, they found 471 pounds.
Holy shit.
You can fit a lot of weed in hockey bags. Also, hockey bags, dead giveaway. Because nobody, you're not playing hockey, trust me.
If you don't have hockey gear in there, you're fucked.
Yeah. You got to have the dummy hockey bag that actually has like a stick or something in it.
Yeah, you gotta have sticks over top of them or something. Shit, like they didn't even attempt it. They were just like, "Fucking throw it in there. Let's go."
Yeah.
But like, it wasn't even an attempt.
And
to
yeah,
hide.
Blind X has a good point. They were two brothers in separate cars. Like these were two different stops, and they both they had to have been following them. I mean, there's no.
Yeah.
They didn't
Like,
smell
light
it. They
stop,
just
two
they
cars.
were following them, and then they said they smelled it, and then that gave them probable cause to go in. I bet they were being watched. I'm sure.
Yeah, two brothers in separate cars. That's way too.
25 and 27, their ages, youngins. So yeah, it's still illegal in some places, and when it's in hockey bags in that amount. So be careful out there, y'all.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that.
I mean, you can. You just be careful. You know?
no, don't do that.
just
I
be
don't think we
careful.
can tell people to do that.
Take different
Where's the disclaimer?
take different paths and double back and make sure you're not being followed and stuff like that. Sweep for bugs. Do people do that? People still sweep for bugs?
Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Damn it.
Who are our boosters this week or this month?
Boosters are the people who got 4 times the amount of entries in the last giveaway, was it?
Is Eastern
we have
Dank
a
a
lot.
booster? Because he
Eastern
won.
Tank was a booster.
Okay.
He is a booster.
That is
Dope.
a reason why he won.
Well, I mean, that's probably contributed to it.
I'm sure it contributed to it. So
It
we
helped
have
his odds greatly.
Yes.
It did, yeah, I'm sure it did. So we have myself, you, Blind X, Zamzu, Eastern Dank, Freeman, King Cord Dabs, Nilthy, DIY Dabs, Big Moser, Ace of Spades, Diamond, Lil Swag Rat, OG Robin Cars, Terp and Derp, and the Church of Dabs. We are starting to get a list
We
going,
have such
my
dope
friends.
names. You guys
Yeah,
have
we-
the dopest names. Hell yeah. All
There's pretty
right.
good ones up.
Well,
Thank
is there
you all
anything
for
else you
supporting
wanna mention before we wrap this up?
I'll see you guys all in the next giveaway.
Nice. Yeah, holler in the chat. We'll talk about what we want the next giveaway to be. If we want to really try and shoot for a peak, I'm sure we can figure out a way to make that happen, or maybe we'll just give away mine or something, since it just sits there.
We'll figure it out. We'll, as always, we'll talk with our VIPs who are our server boosters, and they get a private chat with us that they can help us make decisions for the server. So if you want to help make decisions for the server, become a booster.
Yay. Hotbox.earth. Check it out. That's the website. And make sure to subscribe on YouTube and to the Dabs subreddit. And we'll chat with you all next Saturday. Thanks for listening.
Absolutely. Have a good one.